Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Valentine's Day video. I know it's not Valentine's Day today. I am one day late, but I hope you don't mind. I would have published it yesterday, but normally I pre-record my videos one day before they go up, as I'm doing today on Valentine's Day, so they can go up on 7 a.m. the next day. But I was on a plane all of yesterday, so I couldn't record anything. Yesterday. But 2 days ago when this goes up. So I wasn't able to record anything, so this is only a day late. I hope you don't mind. Today what we're going to be looking at are a couple of couples. So there are a few here that I don't actually know that much about, and they're here at the bottom, these four. I know a little bit about the rest of them at the very least, so I will be able to rank them accordingly. Our 5 tiers that we're going to be looking at today are the best, so the best. Lovely, 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 so pretty good. All right, so, all right. Just about bearable, so like meh, and get in the bin, so terrible relationships. We're going straight to the bin with Edge and Vicky Guerrero, which was a very strange storyline where you have a 20-something Edge and a 40-something Vicky Guerrero in, I guess, a MILF energy era. I don't understand this. It was a little weird. It was only a couple years after Eddie's unfortunate passing, and I think he would have found it fun. Rest in peace and all. But it was a weird storyline, and it was bad. Therefore, bin. However, we're going to be going to the other side of this little tier list here with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. You can argue a lot about this relationship, but the moments that you had, not necessarily with just the both of them, but even with one of them separate from the other and they reference the other, it's so much funnier. And they've stayed together as an on screen pairing for so long. You have to think all the eras that they were working together. Triple H is a full time wrestler, 90s, 2000s. Then you got like 08, 07, when she would appear occasionally, have matches every once in a while, and help Triple H out. And then you got the Authority era. It was a very well-rounded mass of couple. I don't know how to phrase it. But a very good storyline and relationship nonetheless. Good for them. Next up, we have Kane and Lita. I don't know a ton about this one, but I do know that it was related to Katie Vick. So I'm going to have to put it here. For those of you who don't know the Katie Vick storyline, I don't really want to discuss it, but I will discuss it in roughly 10 seconds. Kane is a necrophiliac. That's all I'll say. You can Google what that word means, or just Google Kane, Katie Vick, and you will have a really fun time. Next up, we have AJ Lee and Daniel Bryan. This was a very fun relationship. Again, something that I wasn't really able to watch because I didn't really start watching wrestling until the 2020s because, I didn't really care about it before then. However, from the moments I've seen, including the WrestleMania moment, it's going to be going in all right for me. I don't know too much about it for me to really rank it very highly. However, because of the two involved and how much I know they are good, they definitely deserve to be at least in all right. Next up, we have Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero for the exact same reason as the Edge one. Get out of the bin. And this is like the Edge one. Okay, Edge, this is like 2 years after Eddie's passing. So Vicky's, at least somewhat close to Edge. This is 20s Dolph Ziggler going out with like mid 40s Vicky. Now it's a little bit weird. Even more weird, I should say. However, we have a very fun couple. I know people think this storyline is weird and gross and confusing, but I do think that Mark Henry and Mae Young was a really fun couple. The hand baby was hilarious. And especially the segment where Mark Henry wakes up in a bed, doesn't remember what's happening. He sees Mae Young's in the bed, and he's like, uh-oh. Put him in a Looney Tunes cartoon. He'll be there. However, nonetheless, a very fun story. Next up, we have Becky and Seth Rollins. This team, I want to put them in the best because, again, they're a very great tag team. What am I saying? A very good team, but they don't work a lot on TV together, and they really only reference each other occasionally. So I'm going to put them in lovely, lovely, lovely for now, as, again, I am ranking this just on their televised chemistry and work with one another. They clearly love each other very much. They've got a kid and all, and they reference each other quite a bit, and they've tagged before, I think. So they will be going lovely, lovely, lovely. Next up, we have Kane and, Sable? I think that's Sable. This one is similar to the Lita one, but I don't think this had necrophiliac undertones. And I do remember little bits of the Attitude Era Kane with this, and it was actually a pretty fun storyline. She was just there kind of going, woohoo, go Kane. And then have bad matches every once in a while. but I'm putting her in and him in all right. Next up, we have Eddie Guerrero and China. This one obviously is going in the best. The storyline of Eddie kind of liking China originally, and then China as a stoic individual, just kind of giving him little smirks every once in a while. It was great. And then eventually, when they finally got together, it was amazing. I believe they had a match both with each other and against one another after they broke up. However, it was a really great couple, really good chemistry on screen and probably off. Cool. And we're going right back up to the best again with Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. Again, this is 80, so this is especially something that I'm not that aware of. But from the reunion at, I think, WrestleMania 5, this kind of automatically goes in the best after how long they've been separated after the breakup of the Mega Powers. It was such a heartwarming moment to see Miss Elizabeth in the crowd, kind of like, okay, you run down and help out Macho Man. So, cool. Next up, we have the Canellises, both Mark and Maria. I think his name's Mark. No, Mike and Maria. Because I don't know that much about them, where I'm probably going to put them. As a WWE couple, they didn't really do much, and they were only around as a couple for, I think, less than a year. So I'm going to put them in just about bearable because their whole gimmick was, we love each other. Woohoo! So, can't really talk on it that much. Next up, we have Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. They'll be going right next to Seth and Becky as Lovely, Lovely, Lovely. Again, not a team that you see actually working with one another. And when I was Googling that picture to add, that was one of the articles, how they don't work together that much. But again, it's the same concept as Becky and Seth. They reference each other all the time. The commentators reference one another all the time. And if you look at their show on Hulu now, they are a very good couple. They are a very good couple. Next up, we have Funny, Edge and Lita. Now, this one, finally, Lita has an actual decent pairing. It took a really long time. And I may as well bring in the Matt Hardy pairing as well, because they go very synonymously with one another. I think the story of both kind of intertwine. However, I'm going to say both of them will be going in the lovely, lovely to all right kind of void between those two areas. I'm going to put this one in all right, and I'll put the Matt Hardy one in lovely, lovely, lovely. Only because when Edge beat Matt in the kicked off of Raw match, it was really good how Matt was trying so hard to not get booted out by the police. And then I believe Lita came out and just whacked him. No, that was at the beginning of the match. So Matt was coming out, he was making his entrance. Lita was out there standing, hey, Matt. And then Edge came out, smacked him with a chair, brought him to the ring. It was really good storyline, and it kind of decreased after it came with Edge, but we had a really great moment on Raw. You can find that yourself on the network or on Peacock. You'll probably enjoy it. But overall, great storylines from both individuals. Next up, we have Miz and Maurice. These two actually do work together on TV quite a bit. Unfortunately, Maurice did get diagnosed with an early form of cancer, so we probably won't be seeing her on TV much. We don't really see her on TV much anyways. And I want to put them in Lovely, Lovely as well. And I'm pondering where between All Right and Lovely, Lovely, Lovely. However, because of their chemistry for so long, I'm going to put them in Lovely, Lovely, Lovely. Give him that spot. I don't want to keep calling it Lovely, Lovely, Lovely. Therefore, Triple L. Triple L. There we go. So, again, a very good couple. They have tag matches together quite a bit when they're both active, and it's very fun to see them come on out. Next up, we have Otis and Mandy Rose. This storyline, this was right before I started watching wrestling, but it was very fun to see when I look back. Otis comes out, saves Mandy Rose from something, vice versa, very occasionally, but Otis being a little lovey-dovey bird. And I'm going to be putting them all the way up in Triple L because I think it had so much potential, and then it got shot, after Otis lost the Money in the Bank contract, and just kind of, oh my gosh, what a great story you want. Boom. Then we have Linda and Vince McMahon. This one's weird. I'm going to put him in just about bearable because when you think about Vince and now in the recent times, his dirty deeds done dirt cheap, AC/DC reference for fun. You look back on some of the things that Linda and him did together, and they're just not. No, they don't. Mash and Linda on TV wasn't a great actor, so they couldn't really have promo segments with one another. Vince made fun of Linda a lot, though, and Linda kind of did to him. But I'm only putting it in just about bearable because why not? Lastly, we have Booker T and Queen Charmel. This one is a very exciting little team here. When Booker was World Heavyweight Champion, she was very helpful in that. I did review a match where she was present and she got walloped. I don't recall who else was in the match, but she did get hit. And Booker was very mad about that, so they clearly love each other very much. I do believe they are currently married as well. We're going to be putting them also in Triple L, debatable into the best. Honestly, I'm going to put them in the best as well. More that I think about it and how well they work together, I'm going to put them in the best. Again, the others I don't know a lot about, so I'm not going to be ranking them. However, my final tier list is as follows. You can tell me if you disagree with a few of mine. You probably do. I get a lot of comments saying that on my tier list videos. But just tell me what you think and try not to be mean about it. Just try and give me constructive criticism, and I will try to respond to as many as I can. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, good whatever, and goodbye.